Hey guys, what's up? So, been posting here on this Shawnee National Forest group here on Facebook for a while. I love that I can share my pictures. I love seeing your pictures. So many talented people, so many great, beautiful things to see. You know, social media's got a lot of wonderful, wonderful benefits. It's got some negatives too, and I kind of want to talk about that today a little bit. So this is a controversy in the Shawnee, and it's not really so much in the Shawnee as it is, I think, on this particular group. So I just wanted to address a couple things. And this is tongue-in-cheek. I'm not very serious. I'm very serious. But anyway, so first one, all right? Vlogging. I didn't think this was the least bit controversial, but there's been some comments, and I'm sure if one person's commenting, there's probably quite a few people who feel this way. This person said they think that the vlogging is diminishing the experience, and they were concerned that the vloggers were doing it for personal notoriety. And I'll just say, I don't think they're probably talking about me. I'm not the most prolific Shawnee vlogger like some other Hiking with Sean type guys. Personal notoriety. I mean, obviously I don't wear a bag on my head when I do this. It's not like, you want to be known for your work. You want to be known for the thing you're producing. Personal notoriety is definitely part of it. I'm sure it is for Sean too. But I think the bigger part of it is sharing, the amazing Shawnee National Forest. And so when I first saw these posts, I thought, this is stupid. This is dumb. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I think I know where they're coming from. This person's probably pretty old. That has a problem with the vlogging, and maybe back in their day, knowledge, it had to be handed down person to person. You couldn't just get online and find everything out and see pictures and know exactly all of this wonderful information about the Shawnee. You had to probably go to the library and do actual, read a book and stuff. I mean, I guess, thing is, like, they seem to kind of, I don't know, I kind of feel like there might be a little jealousy, and they think that maybe, it's like, hey, these young guys are still in the show. I don't know, if you have a lot of experience, years and years of experience in the Shawnee, tell us about it. Start a vlog, I'm sure that I would watch it. It'd probably be really interesting. Don't get online and complain about it. You're not helping anything. Second controversy. Lions and tigers and bears. I made notes, by the way. That's how serious this is. Oh my, lions and tigers and bears. The most controversial subject. I'm not even going to spend very much time on this other than just to say that I think that the group needs like some kind of automatic filtering system, that if anybody makes a post that talks about bears or cougars or big cats, then it just automatically gets like wiped. Just stop it before it starts. You got to nip that stuff in the bud. Okay, rock stacking. Rock stacking is probably the reason why I'm making this video. There's a recent video somebody did at Ferncliff Falls. There's a stack of rocks, and I just knew it. As soon as I saw it, here it comes. The rock stacking brigade is going to come out in force against this. So, I wrote this little short thing here. I remember walking up to the Bellsmith Springs Natural Arch and seeing an amazing 4-foot stack of rocks. The area is awe-inspiring, but the bizarre, unnatural stack of rocks made it even more memorable. I'd never seen this before. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I remember being like, whoa, that's so cool. How did those rocks get stacked? It didn't even occur to me that somebody sat and carefully balanced all those rocks out. So I would have never imagined that this aggravates people, but apparently it's bad. And I just saw somebody wrote, anytime you stack up rocks, you're probably destroying precious natural habitat. And I'm like, extreme views are not beneficial for anything. And I mean, maybe in some parts of the Southwest that are really dry and those rocks do provide some very rare shade, that's probably a thing, because the article I read, that's what they were talking about, rock stacking in just this like desert almost. I could see that as being like a thing. My cat's getting ornery. Quit it. But anyway, in the Shawnee, are you destroying habitat when you stack up rocks? Are you causing erosion? I mean, if you're digging rocks out of the ground, if you're taking them up from everywhere and stacking them up, but generally where I see it is like on creek beds where there's already just a big stack of rocks. I mean, I just don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's a problem. If it upsets you, go out in the woods and find them and kick them down and save the grub worms that need to live under them or whatever. I can't imagine people getting that upset about these stacks of rocks. It just blows my mind. If the ecosystem is that fragile, we shouldn't even be there. You should just put a big fence up around the whole thing and say, no, it's too fragile. If you go in there, you might stack a rock, and yeah. Okay, trash and graffiti. Of course, I can't defend trash and graffiti. It's terrible. People shouldn't do it. But here's what I want to say. Posting photos of the trash and complaining about it, it doesn't help. If you want to help, pick it up. I need to start doing that. I wish I need to start carrying a trash bag. You know, pick the trash up if it bothers you that bad. The graffiti, I'm sure it can be cleaned. If it's driving you crazy seeing graffiti out there, take some stuff, clean it. There was graffiti on Devil's Backbone. I just saw it this weekend. It did not diminish my experience one bit. In fact, it's only been there for a while, and I think it's starting to fade away already. That stuff's not going to last very long, but I'm sure that you could hasten it with a little bit of that goop spray and a brush if it bothers you that much. But anyway, yeah, don't do it, but I mean, posting pictures of every piece of trash you see in the trail and complaining about it is probably not going to make a big difference. So next up is horses. Now this is a pet peeve of mine. This is probably not very controversial to most of you guys. I'm not a big fan of what they do to the trails, but also I really believe that, you know, people need access to the trails in whatever way that they want to access. And horses are a natural, always been part of our, you know, Shawnee National Forest environment. The problem is that I feel like the system, the trails are heavily weighed in favor of the horseback riders. How many trails are actually just hiking? You know, I'm thinking like the Little Loop at Garden of the Gods, Rim Rock, Bellsmith Springs. I mean, I'm sure there's others. Millstone Bluff has a little short trail. Little Grand Canyon, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there's others, but off the top of my head, that's it that I know of. And I mean, guys, you go to any of those trails, no matter how wet it is, you're not going to lose your boots in mud holes. You can walk. You don't have to sit and find, you know, like 50 different trails where the horses have kept trying to cut and make new trails when their original one gets completely swamped and you can't even walk a horse through it. Horseback riding does a lot of damage. Yeah, and it kind of sucks for people like me who don't do it. I just wish there was more places, you know, that, but I don't really feel like, I don't want to say they shouldn't be out there. I don't want to say take their space away. I just wish there was some trails, more trails that were better, that were just hiking or biking. And that leads me to my next biking, all right? So now, of course, I'm biased. I'm a mountain biker. I'm a cyclist. And, you know, people have been riding the trails since the 80s, but not very many. I mean, we're talking about, you know, probably a handful of people here, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in the area on a regular basis riding these trails. And, you know, we're talking about hundreds of miles of trails. So ATVs were allowed on trails. I don't remember what year it was when they were banned, probably mid-80s, I think. Bikes were not banned. There's no designated bike trails, but I know from the people who were involved at the time that the Forest Service was okay with bikes on the trails, as far as like staying out of wilderness areas, staying out of natural areas, and staying off of trails that are hiking only. No, as far as I know, nobody's ever been fined for it. I've never heard of it. As far as I know, there's never really been a problem. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the horseback riders, you know, a few of them are kind of worried about safety and being spooked. All I can say is that you're probably more likely to see just about anything other than a mountain biker. You know, if you're scared of that, maybe you don't need to be out there if it's that frightening. I don't know. I mean, I would not ride something that I was worried might spot something and get scared and throw me off of it. I mean, that's just, I wouldn't do it. That seems dangerous. You know, if you can't control your steed, then, you know, I wouldn't be riding it. But you know, I hate to say that I just think there should be less horseback riding. I just feel like it's just heavily weighed in favor of horseback riding, like 99% horseback riding, 1% everything else. And anyway, so that's what bothers me about the Shawnee, is trying to hike and you know, needing waders to get through some trails where it's just so completely swamped out. I would much rather have some rocks to stack up and walk on. But anyway, so yeah, hey, in conclusion, I didn't make an in conclusion section. In conclusion, guys, just enjoy it, and keep posting the great videos, keep posting the great pictures, and keep sharing your experiences in the Shawnee. And remember, it's social media, and you know, don't get bent out of shape about stupid stuff. That's all. See ya.